OutDaughtered, Danielle shares Busby Quints fail to hit 1K money goal. Danielle Busby has always been open with fans of OutDaughtered, and that honesty is one of the biggest reasons people feel so connected to her and her family. Over the years, viewers have watched Danielle navigate motherhood, business, health struggles, and the unique experience of raising the only all-girl quintuplets in the United States. But one recent moment she shared stood out for a very different reason. It wasn't about medical updates, relationship milestones, or big family celebrations. Instead, it was a simple lesson about goals, expectations, and what happens when things don't go as planned. Danielle revealed that the Busby Quints had set a money goal for themselves, hoping to reach $1,000, but despite their effort and excitement, they fell short. What could have been a disappointment turned into a meaningful learning experience, not just for the girls, but for fans watching from home. Danielle explained that the idea started as a way to teach the Quints about responsibility, saving, and understanding the value of money. As parents, Danielle and Adam have always tried to balance giving their daughters a wonderful childhood while also grounding them in real-world lessons. With 6 daughters in the house, including their oldest Riley and the 5 Quints, it's easy for things to feel chaotic, busy, and sometimes overwhelming. Teaching financial awareness wasn't about pressure or punishment. It was about helping the girls understand that money doesn't just appear and that goals require consistency, patience, and effort. The Quints were excited when they first heard about the challenge. $1,000 sounded like a huge number, but also an exciting one. To young kids, reaching a 4-digit goal can feel like climbing a mountain. Danielle shared that the girls were full of energy and confidence at the beginning. They talked about ideas, imagined what they could do once they reached their goal, and even started planning how they would save. Whether it was through chores, small rewards, or setting aside money they received, the Quints genuinely believed they could make it happen. At first, everything felt positive. The girls were motivated and proud every time they added a little more to their savings. Danielle watched them count their money, celebrate small milestones, and encourage each other. As a mom, she loved seeing them work together and develop a sense of teamwork. It wasn't about competition between the sisters. It was about a shared goal. Danielle admitted that moments like these are what make parenting feel rewarding. Watching your children learn something new, even something as simple as counting money, can feel like a win. But as time went on, reality started to settle in. Progress slowed. The excitement wasn't as intense as it had been at the beginning. The Quints still cared, but other things began to compete for their attention. School, activities, playtime, and just being kids naturally took priority. Danielle noticed that the girls weren't talking about the goal as much. They weren't checking their savings as often. What once felt big and exciting now felt far away and a little harder to reach. Eventually, the moment came when they realized they weren't going to hit the $1,000 mark. Danielle didn't dramatize it or turn it into a big emotional moment. Instead, she approached it with calm honesty. She sat down with the girls and talked through what happened. The Quints felt disappointed, and Danielle acknowledged that feeling. She didn't brush it off or tell them it didn't matter. She explained that it's okay to feel let down when you work towards something and don't reach it. What made this moment special was how Danielle framed the conversation. She didn't focus on failure. She focused on effort and understanding. She reminded the girls that setting a goal is still important, even if you don't reach it the first time. The fact that they tried, learned, and experienced the process mattered more than the final number. For young kids, learning that not every goal works out perfectly is an important life lesson. Danielle wanted them to understand that setbacks don't define you. They teach you. Danielle also shared with fans that this moment hit close to home for her as an adult. She admitted that even grown-ups set goals all the time and don't always meet them. Whether it's business plans, health goals, or personal dreams, life doesn't always go according to plan. By letting her daughters see that disappointment is normal and manageable, Danielle hoped to model emotional resilience. She wanted them to see that it's okay to reassess, adjust, and move forward. Fans of OutDaughtered responded strongly to Danielle's honesty. Many parents related to the struggle of teaching kids about money without creating stress or unrealistic expectations. Others appreciated that Danielle didn't pretend everything was perfect. In a world where social media often shows only success stories, seeing a real moment of learning and growth felt refreshing. Parents commented that their own children had similar experiences with saving money or setting goals that felt exciting at first, but hard to maintain. Danielle emphasized that the Quints failing to hit their money goal didn't mean the lesson was wasted. In fact, she believed it might have been more valuable because it didn't end in success. The girls learned that motivation can fade and that discipline is different from excitement. They also learned that sometimes you need to break big goals into smaller, more manageable steps. $1,000 was a huge target for kids their age, and Danielle admitted that in hindsight, a smaller goal might have helped them stay engaged longer. Another important part of the lesson was teamwork. The Quints experienced what it's like to work together toward something and how each person's effort affects the group. Danielle talked about how one sister losing interest could impact the whole goal and how encouraging each other matters. These are lessons that go far beyond money. They apply to school projects, family responsibilities, friendships, and future careers. Danielle also used the moment to talk about gratitude. Even though they didn't reach $1,000, the girls still had saved money they could be proud of. Danielle encouraged them to appreciate what they had accomplished instead of focusing only on what they didn't achieve. This shift in perspective helped the Quints feel better about the experience. Instead of seeing it as a loss, they began to see it as progress. As always, Adam Busby played a supportive role in the conversation. Danielle mentioned that Adam agreed with the approach of using the situation as a teaching moment rather than a disappointment. Together, they reinforced the idea that learning doesn't always come from winning. Sometimes it comes from trying, failing, and understanding why something didn't work. This unified parenting style is something fans have admired for years. Danielle's openness about the money goal also highlighted how intentional the Busbys are about raising grounded kids despite their fame. The Quints have grown up on television, surrounded by cameras and attention, yet Danielle and Adam continue to focus on everyday lessons that many families face. Saving money, managing expectations, and dealing with disappointment are universal experiences, and Danielle made it clear that fame does exempt their family from these realities. She also admitted that as a mom, it's hard to watch your kids feel disappointed. There's a natural instinct to fix things or make it easier. But Danielle resisted the urge to step in and save the situation. She understood that shielding the girls from disappointment wouldn't prepare them for the real world. Letting them experience that uncomfortable feeling in a safe and supportive environment was part of the lesson. Over time, Danielle noticed something interesting. The Quints didn't dwell on the failure for long. After talking it through, they moved on. They returned to being kids, playing, laughing, and enjoying their day. That resilience reassured Danielle that the lesson had landed. The girls understood what happened, accepted it, and didn't let it define them. Danielle later reflected that the experience might shape how they approach future goals. Instead of aiming for a huge number all at once, they might choose smaller milestones. They might check in more often or support each other differently. Even if they don't consciously remember every detail, the experience will influence how they think about effort and patience. For fans, this story became a reminder that parenting isn't about perfection. It's about guiding, listening, and learning alongside your children. Danielle didn't present herself as an expert with all the answers. She shared the moment honestly, including her own reflections and doubts. That vulnerability is what continues to make OutDaughtered relatable after so many seasons. In the end, the Busby Quints failing to hit their $1,000 money goal wasn't a negative story. It was a real one. It showed that growth doesn't always come with a big celebration or a perfect ending. Sometimes it comes quietly, through conversation, understanding, and the willingness to try again. Danielle made it clear that this wouldn't be the last goal the girls set. It was simply one step in a long journey of learning. As they grow older, the challenges will change, the goals will get bigger, and the lessons will become more complex. But moments like this lay the foundation. They teach the Quints that effort matters, that disappointment is survivable, and that growth often comes from the places you least expect. For viewers of OutDaughtered, this story was another reminder of why the Busby family continues to resonate with so many people. It wasn't about drama or spectacle. It was about real life shared honestly. Danielle's willingness to talk about a small but meaningful moment helped turn a missed money goal into a powerful lesson about resilience, teamwork, and perspective. And perhaps the most important takeaway of all was this: success isn't always about hitting the number you set. Sometimes, success is about learning who you are in the process of trying. OutDaughtered's Danielle Busby has no clear answer after procedure for health issues. Danielle Busby has always been known as the steady heart of OutDaughtered, the calm presence balancing a household that very few people on earth could manage. As the mom of America's only all-girl quintuplets, plus one older daughter, Danielle has spent years showing viewers what strength looks like in everyday life. But behind the smiles, the laughter, and the carefully organized chaos of the Busby household, Danielle has also been quietly fighting a battle that doesn't come with easy answers. In recent updates shared with fans, Danielle Busby revealed that even after undergoing a medical procedure in hopes of finding relief or clarity, she still has no clear answer regarding her ongoing health issues. The admission was honest, vulnerable, and deeply relatable for many people who have followed her journey over the years. Rather than offering a neat conclusion, Danielle's story highlights the reality that health struggles don't always come with quick fixes or definitive explanations. For fans of OutDaughtered, this update was both concerning and familiar. Danielle has been open in the past about dealing with unexplained symptoms, chronic discomfort, and the emotional toll of not knowing exactly what is wrong. Her willingness to share this uncertainty has made her a source of comfort for viewers who see themselves in her story. Danielle's health journey did not begin overnight. Over several seasons of OutDaughtered, viewers noticed moments when she appeared exhausted beyond what would be expected, even for a mom of 6. There were days when pain seemed to slow her down, moments when she struggled to keep up physically, and scenes where she openly expressed frustration at not feeling like herself. At first, many fans assumed it was simply the natural result of raising 6 children, 5 of them the same age. But as time went on, it became clear that something more was going on. Danielle herself acknowledged that her body wasn't responding the way it used to. She talked about feeling worn down, experiencing symptoms she couldn't explain, and sensing that something deeper might be happening. Despite doctor visits and tests, answers remained elusive. For someone used to being in control and planning every detail of her family's busy life, the lack of clarity was deeply unsettling. When Danielle eventually underwent a medical procedure, many fans hoped it would finally bring resolution. Procedures often represent a turning point, a moment where uncertainty gives way to understanding. But Danielle's update made it clear that reality doesn't always follow that script. Instead of closure, she was left with more questions. Saying no clear answer is not a small thing. Those words carry weight, especially when spoken by someone who has been searching for relief for so long. They reflect the emotional exhaustion that comes from waiting, hoping, and then realizing that the journey is not over yet. Danielle did not sugarcoat her feelings, but she also did not dramatize them. Her tone was honest, calm, and grounded, which made the message even more powerful. One of the most striking aspects of Danielle's health journey is how she continues to show up for her family despite the uncertainty. Life in the Busby household doesn't slow down easily. There are school schedules, extracurricular activities, family commitments, and the everyday demands of raising 6 children. Even on days when she doesn't feel her best, Danielle remains deeply involved in her kids' lives, offering stability and reassurance. Her husband, Adam Busby, has also played an important role throughout this process. Over the years, viewers have seen Adam step in, offer support, and express concern when Danielle's health struggles become more apparent. Their partnership has been tested in ways that go beyond parenting challenges. Facing unanswered health questions together has required patience, communication, and mutual understanding. Danielle's update also sheds light on a broader issue that many people experience, but rarely see represented so openly on television: the frustration of medical uncertainty. Not all health problems come with clear diagnoses or straightforward treatment plans. Many individuals spend years navigating symptoms, undergoing tests, and trying different approaches without ever receiving a definitive answer. Danielle's story resonates because it reflects that reality without exaggeration. What makes her situation particularly challenging is the public nature of her life. As a reality TV star, Danielle knows that fans are invested in her story. While that support can be comforting, it also means that personal struggles often become public conversations. Choosing to share an update that offers no resolution takes courage. It means being honest even when the answer isn't satisfying. Despite the lack of clarity, Danielle has not expressed hopelessness. Instead, she continues to focus on what she can control, listening to her body, leaning on her support system, and taking things one day at a time. This mindset is something many fans admire. Rather than framing her journey as a setback, she presents it as an ongoing process. Throughout OutDaughtered, Danielle has consistently shown resilience. From the early days of raising newborn Quints to navigating school years and family changes, she has adapted time and again. Her health journey is another chapter in that story of resilience, even if it doesn't come with a clear ending yet. Fans have responded with an outpouring of support, sharing messages of encouragement and understanding. Many have expressed gratitude for Danielle's honesty, saying that it makes them feel less alone in their own struggles. In a world where social media often highlights perfect outcomes, Danielle's willingness to say, "I don't know yet," feels refreshing and real. The phrase, "no clear answer," can be unsettling, but it also reflects a truth that many people live with every day. Healing is not always linear, and understanding doesn't always come when we expect it. Danielle's openness allows viewers to see that uncertainty does not diminish strength. If anything, it reveals it. As OutDaughtered continues to follow the Busby family, viewers are likely to see how Danielle navigates this chapter of her life. Whether answers eventually come or the journey remains ongoing, her story serves as a reminder that health challenges are deeply personal and often unpredictable. Danielle Busby's experience also highlights the importance of listening to one's body and advocating for oneself. While she has not found clear answers yet, her persistence in seeking care shows that she takes her health seriously. This message resonates strongly with fans who may be dealing with their own unexplained symptoms or health concerns. Another important aspect of Danielle's update is how it reflects emotional strength. Living with unanswered questions can take a toll not just physically, but mentally. Anxiety, frustration, and fatigue often accompany prolonged uncertainty. Danielle's calm and measured response suggests that she has found ways to cope emotionally, even when clarity remains out of reach. The Busby children, though young, are also part of this journey. While Danielle and Adam protect their kids from unnecessary worry, the family dynamic naturally adjusts when a parent is dealing with health issues. Viewers have seen moments of tenderness, teamwork, and understanding within the household that speak to the strong foundation Danielle and Adam have built. Danielle's story also challenges the idea that strong people always have everything figured out. Strength, in her case, means continuing to move forward even without certainty. It means being honest about struggles while still showing up for loved ones. That kind of strength doesn't rely on clear answers. It exists even in the absence of them. As fans reflect on Danielle's update, many are reminded that health journeys are deeply individual. What works for one person may not work for another, and timelines can vary widely. Danielle's experience encourages patience, compassion, and empathy, both for oneself and for others. It is also worth noting how Danielle balances transparency with privacy. She shares enough to keep fans informed, but she also sets boundaries around what details remain personal. This balance allows her to maintain control over her narrative while still connecting authentically with viewers. Looking ahead, Danielle has not indicated that she is giving up on finding answers. Instead, her update suggests a willingness to continue exploring options and listening to medical advice while accepting that progress may be slow. This realistic approach resonates with anyone who has faced long-term health uncertainty. In many ways, Danielle Busby's journey reflects the quiet courage that exists in everyday life. It's not about dramatic moments or sudden breakthroughs. It's about waking up each day, facing uncertainty, and choosing to keep going. Her story reminds viewers that not having answers doesn't mean failure. Sometimes, it simply means the journey is still unfolding. For fans of OutDaughtered, Danielle has always represented love, organization, and determination. Her health journey adds another layer to that image, showing vulnerability alongside strength. It deepens the connection viewers feel to her and reinforces why her story matters.